Let's try that again. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. I'm going to wait a minute. Let people get themselves in. Grab my coffee. Iced coffee, that is. Move this computer over. All right. We're going to give it a minute. We're going to wait until, I don't know, wait a couple 2-3 minutes for anybody who's going to come in, and then we will get started. Wait a couple 2-3. Make sure we're up there. We're up there. All right, so we're good. I guess I can turn my camera on now. My camera's fuzzy. Is that I wonder if that's due to let's see if that fixed it. No, not really. All right, we're going to get started here. It's, I guess, about time, giving everybody a couple of minutes. So last episode was the off season and opening day, and we didn't do a ton in the off season. We went after one guy and spent the entirety of the off season battling with multiple teams to try to get him, and that was Julio Lujan. And we ended up signing him. It started out as like a 4-year, I don't know, $15-16 million contract or something like that. And it turned into this monstrosity. 5 years, $174 million, but he's 23 years old. He is potentially elite bat. He's already great in the outfield. He already has great speed. He's got high leader, high loyalty, high work ethic, high intelligence. Was just somebody I had to take a run at. And that was the majority of what we did. And then we did a lot in the Rule 5 as well. Picked up Yohendrick Pinango, as well as Brian Buelvas. So we picked up a couple outfielders in the Rule 5. And I think that was all we did. We made a trade. We traded for Kumar Rocker in March. Traded Dalton Varsho and some minor leaguers. Milkar Perez, Connor Thomas, Blaze Alexander, and Dominic Fletcher for Kumar Rocker and Phaedriel Cruz. I was hoping that Rocker would rebound. It looks like he got rushed to the majors by Colorado and was just atrocious last year. He's been okay. 1-3. I mean, he's been okay so far for us this year. And then we also picked up Phaedriel Cruz, who's currently in AAA, but looks like a decent. He's got a weird mix. He can play first, second, and center. He's probably more of a corner outfielder, really probably a left fielder with those ratings. But those are the two players we picked up. I think that was all we did in the offseason. So we've gotten off to a bit of a rough start. We're 14-16, 4 games out of first place. 3 games out of a wild card through 1 month. But really, middle of the pack we're 8th in runs scored. We're 5th in runs against. Our defense hasn't been good, but I guess with where these numbers are, I guess I just anticipated that we would be a little bit better. Correa's been out for a while. We get him back tomorrow. He's out with a fractured jaw, so that's obviously shortened the lineup here a little bit. So it'd be nice to get him back out there here tomorrow. We traded for Kevin Biggio at the end of last season. This was a salary dump, if you will. I mean, not really a salary dump, because Hicks was good, but this gave us an opportunity to get out from the contract that we offered him. It was almost instant buyer's remorse for me when I signed that contract, but we got out from underneath that contract. We traded Hicks, Corsi, and Dominic Canzone to Toronto for Biggio, Ryan Barucki, and Nate Pearson. So we pick up a starter, a reliever, and then Biggio, who can kind of play all over the place. Biggio's probably a one-and-done kind of guy. He's ARB eligible. He wants right now $6 million in ARB for next season, so I don't think that's going to happen. Pearson has been fine for us so far this season. Still relatively young, still relatively cheap, and then Baraki is he just hit 30, but he hasn't been particularly good either. But that's a small sample size, so we will see how that goes. I want to refresh this because it's already frozen up on me a couple of times. So if there's been any chat, I'm behind in it. Anyway, so those are the changes we've made. Offensively, it's been up and down. A couple players doing really well, a couple players not doing so well. So Lujan and Thomas, kind of the two top hitters in our lineup, are really carrying their load or doing their part, I guess. 1.7 and 1.2 WAR. O'Neal Cruz is hitting pretty well this year. Yerzy, 6 for 13 with a couple of home runs. Biggio, again, not much. Pinango started to pick it up towards the end of the month. He's up to 3.5 stars. I expect a lot out of him. I mean, he could be our leadoff hitter for the next 5-6 years if he continues to develop. Rodriguez has taken a step backwards, which is a little disappointing. I was really hopeful coming into last season, so we may need a different option at second. Vukovic has hit for some power, driven in 20 runs in 25 games, but pretty low batting average, low OPS plus, hasn't been particularly good. From a pitching perspective, Ramsey David, our rookie, has been our best pitcher so far. That is spring training. Why is that on spring training? David has been our best pitcher so far. He's 5-0 with a 1.72 ERA, 2.3 FIP, 1.5 WAR already. So 5-0 in 6 starts out of the gate for the 23-year-old. Logan Webb, his ERA is super high. FIP is super low. So I have to think that it will fall somewhere in the middle. Ranger Suarez hasn't been great this year. Same deal, though. A high ERA, low FIP, a BABIP of almost 400. So have to think that that's going to come down some. Graveman has been good as our closer. He's getting paid $8 million by somebody else to play for us this year. The White Sox are paying him $8 million to play for us, and he has saved 5 games so far. So that's kind of where we are. So it's, I guess, time to just start simming and see how things go. So we got game 1 at home against the Dodgers, and we win 6-5. We're going to get Correa back, as I said, tomorrow, which is obviously a good thing. So we walk this one off in the bottom of the 9th. So what happened? Just a single for Vukovic. He went 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Thomas had 3 hits. Blovas had 2. Webb went 4. Doval blew the save. Hudson picks up the win. You sound very excited to start losing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like our team is better than our record indicates, so I'm hopeful that, especially now that we have Correa back in the lineup, that things will start to turn around. Who do we send down? Do we send down Guzman, or do we send... I think we're going to send Rodriguez down. Because we can shift Guzman over to second. So Rodriguez is... he's slightly above average defensively. I think we send Rodriguez to the minors. It's better than it was when I got there for sure. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Although I have an absolute crap ton of money locked up in 2 players. I mean, that's an obvious concern for us going forward if we don't improve, because our revenue per game is down, even though our ticket prices didn't go up. So we have... next year, $68 million locked up in Correa and Lujan, assuming Correa doesn't opt out. So that could be an issue, but it's not an issue for right now. That's an issue for later. All right, so Correa's going to move into the number 2 spot. Cruz will move up there, so we'll go Pinango and Cruz. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That is fine. Yeah, it is better than it was when I got here, but still not great. Although we do have, I mean, the pieces are there. I mean, what is going on? Shortstop, second base, shortstop, second base. The top of our lineup, I think, is pretty solid. Thomas, Correa, and Lujan, I think, is really, really good. From there, it's a lot of unknown and a lot of, if and maybe kind of things. Our pitching staff, I still really like Logan Webb. Ramsey David is, at least early on, showing that he can do it. Suarez, I don't know. I mean, he's been good. He was really good last year. He's been just okay this season. I don't know. We'll see. Let's keep simming along. So we got the Cubs for 3 now, and the Cubs are much improved. We lose 5-4 in 14. The Cubs, you can see, running Xander Bogaerts out there now at third base. You got Julio Urias at the top of their rotation. Oh, I thought they were much improved. They're in last place. Anderson Espinoza, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. He was supposed to be an absolute stud for the Red Sox back in the day. Traded him as part of the... It wasn't the Adrian Gonzalez deal, was it? It's not going to go back that far. I can't remember. I think it was the Adrian Gonzalez deal. That's going back years. Which makes sense. Yeah, 20... I got to look now. It's going to bother me. Anderson Espinoza. It's going to bother me. Let's look. Why is it not showing up on his baseball reference page? Shouldn't that be showing up on his... It's just the teams he played for. That's going to bother me, but I don't want to delay anymore. Aaron is back. Yes, I am, Breeze. It was Mother's Day last Sunday, so had to take the day off and make sure my wife had everything she needed, so... decided to do a short video instead. Another 5-4 loss. How are you doing tonight, my friend? So 2 5-4 losses in a row. And we bounce back with a win. So 2-2 so far in this episode. Vukovic, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Pinango, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. David goes to 6-0 on the year. On the road in LA for 3. This is a big series. And we win the first one 8-7 in 12 innings. I'm doing well. I'm a little bummed out the Bruins lost last night, or yesterday afternoon, but Celtics more than made up for it today. So I am good. Thanks for asking. Good offensive game. Vukovic with another home run. Buelvas, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Thomas up to 330. Lujan has his average up over 300. 12 home runs, only 23 runs knocked in. We got to get some batters on base in front of him. No way he was part of the Drew Pomeranz deal. No way. Anderson Espinoza traded to San Diego. Wow. That's a terrible trade. He was the number 15 prospect in baseball, and they traded him for Drew Pomeranz. Dear Lord. Yeah, Agon was 2012, Yeah, that was 2012. Because it was 2013 that... I think it was 2011, because it was 2013 that the Red Sox traded all of them to... No, it was 20... Oh, God, I don't even remember. My years are starting to blend together at this point. But Red Sox traded Gonzalez, Carl Crawford, and Josh Beckett to the Dodgers for a couple of pitchers to just get the contracts off the books. So Rocker goes 4. Bullpen does okay work. Enough work to get the win. We're 1 game under 500. Going up against Walker Buehler today. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely forget the Aegon. Carl Crawford is one of my least favorite Red Sox of all time. So we went 2 out of 3 against LA, including 14-7. The offense cruising. Correa 3 hits, 3 RBIs, his first 2 home runs of the season. Lujan homers. Hernan go up to 317. That's what I like to see. Cruz has 3 hits. Guzman drives in 4. All right. Suarez gets the win. And we are 1 game under 500. Yeah, the 2011 team was the team that lost to... Who was it? Was it Tampa? No, it was either Tampa or Baltimore on the last game of the season to get knocked out of the playoffs. That was the beer and chicken team that somebody made a comment about how, when they would come out of the game, they would go back into the dugout and eat beer and chicken and not stay in the game and watch, or not stay in the dugout and watch the game with their team or something. It's a very, very unlikable team. Very unlikable. All right, so Kyle Greer is back. Not sure what I want to do with him, though. Our outfield is pretty stacked up at the moment. I mean, maybe we send Lopez down because we have Biggio who can back up at second if necessary. I think that probably makes the most sense. You're doing a road to the show, and you made an undrafted story where you pick a random team and picked Boston since Gonzalez had a 1-year game. You think they signed him to a long-term contract. They signed him to like an 8-year contract or something like that. I don't know if the game reflects it, but they signed him to a long-term deal, and it just didn't work. It just did not work. So Kyle Greer is going to back up at all the outfield positions. Andrew Vaughn is the backup first baseman. Vaughn is not playing at all. Okay. Well, we should do something about that. Get him a little bit of playing time anyway. Especially against lefties, he should get some playing time. That's every 4th game. Every 7th game, I guess. Backup shortstop will be Guzman. And then Greer, and Greer. All right, so are we healthy? We got Workman out for a while, but that's about it. All right, so we got Colorado here, 4-3 at home. We got a 6-game homestand, 3 against Colorado, 3 against Washington. 6-5 wins. That's 4 out of 5 now. Cruz has his average up to 284. I didn't think he'd ever hit for that high an average. At least the out of the park 22, the stats loved O'Neal Cruz, but he never developed as a bat in out of the park 22. Him and Crawford were supposed to be the new core hitters after Manny and Lowell left. Yeah, that didn't last. Yeah, no, that's very true. Well, with Adrian Gonzalez, the whole talk was that he had that Fenway Park swing as a lefty. That opposite field swing that would, put up 50 doubles, at Fenway Park, maybe hit 30 home runs. Carl Crawford was the team spending money. That was pre-Dombrowski. That was Theo, I believe. I think that was Theo Epstein. Who signed Carl Crawford contract? I think that was Theo. Epstein. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he that was Epstein. Crawford and Lackey were the 2 contracts that he signed that he didn't want to sign. And then he left like the year after that. So all right. Yeah, because it was Epstein, and then it was what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? I can see his face. Ben Charrington. It was Theo, and then Charrington, then Dombrowski. All right, let's see how this game goes against Colorado. 7-2 win, so we continue to play good baseball. Bottom of the order getting it done. Andrew Vaughn gets 3 hits. Buelvas has a hit. Biggio drives in a couple. Alec Thomas homers. Ramsey David 7-0 with a 1.81 earned run average. We're back over 500. We got third game of the series against Colorado. Can we get the sweep? No, we lose 4-0. All right, it's 3 games now against Washington. 4-0 wins. We get shut out 4-0, then come back and shut out the opponent 4-0. Correa 2 for 5 with an RBI. Lujan 3 hits. Penango gets on base 3 times. Cruz with his 4th triple. Logan Webb 5 shutout innings, getting that ERA down. It's down to 4.04. Yeah, the Dombrowski era was exactly what you would expect. I mean, he came in and he traded all the prospects. He won a World Series and then he left. I mean, that's how things go. All right, game 2 against Washington. 10-4 wins. We're 2 games over 500 now. Top of the order, getting it done in this one. Correa 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Lujan 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Penango drives in 3. Andy Yerzy, man, this kid is getting it done for us. He's like one of my favorite players on this team. He can't field for shit, but man, he can swing the stick. He can swing the stick. Andy Yerzy getting it done. Suarez gets the win, gives up 11 hits in 5 2/3 innings, but still manages to get the victory. Game 3. We get the sweep. We do, 4-1. So, Breeze, why are you playing the show 11? Is that like one of the best like versions of the game? I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I've never played a single MLB The Show game. So Vaughn finally getting into the lineup and starting to get some hits here. So 7 for 10 in his 3 starts this season. Correa has 2 hits, has that average up to 280. Pearson with 6 shutout innings. Yeah, he came back. That was 2005, I think, when he left in the gorilla suit. Was that 2005? What year was that? Yeah, 2005. He resigned and then returned a few months later. Yeah. And then he stayed with the team for almost another decade. That's funny. All right, so we are on a hot streak here, 23-20. Playing good baseball right now. The Brewers coming up. Anything interesting happen? Nope. Offense coming along. Look at that. 6th in runs scored, 2nd in runs against. We are playing. We're not a power hitting team, but we're getting it done with batting average and on-base percentage. So we are getting it done how we're getting it done. And we're putting together a pretty good team. I'm surprised that the revenue per game is still down, given that we are playing really well. Fan interest is at a 50. Fan loyalty is pathetic. This is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Okay, we can probably trade Suarez if we need to without suffering a ton of financial hit. But with the way things are going right now, I just sort of want to see how it goes. I think I've seen that. I've never watched any of Larry David's stuff, but I think I've seen him in a gorilla suit. I think. All right, we got Milwaukee. Milwaukee. So we're on the road now for 3-6. We're on the road for 10. We come back 6-4. That would be nice. 6-4 on a 10-game road trip. Lose the first game 7-1. Lose the second game 4-2. Let's avoid the sweep here, guys. Nope. Swept by the Brewers. We got 3 against Atlanta, as we are back to 500. We are under 500 as we lose 4 straight on the road. You saw a lot of players in 11 that you might know. There we go, we win. 4 hits, 3 RBIs for Lujan. Vaughn, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Pearson. Doval blows the save. Buttrey gets the win. All right, game 2 in Atlanta as we end our 4-game losing streak. So that was a plus. Another win. Okay, so we're back over 500. Alec Thomas, 2 for 5. Vukovic and Cruz homers. Thomas and Cruz homer. Cruz is down to 250. David has his first loss, but he's 8-1. Scott Olson. No idea who Scott Olson is. Obviously Freeman, Sabathia. Yeah, I mean, 2011 wasn't that long ago. There are a lot of players that are still playing that were playing in 2011. All right, so we got Miami now, and I don't think Miami's all that good. So hopefully we can continue there. 20-28. We're in the wild card hunt, so we are right there. Half a game behind the Phillies, 2.5 behind the Dodgers, but we have that wild card spot. So, and it's still super early, but hopefully we can win 3 out of 4 here in Miami. That would be nice. It's a bad Marlins team. We win 4-1, so that's 3 in a row. Excuse me. Biggio 3. He's been an under-the-radar pickup for us. 785 OPS, 111 OPS plus, 24 RBIs in 33 starts. He's played really, really well. And he's played 4 different positions. First, second, third, and right field. He's been good. Rocker gets the win. He's 2-5. He's been okay. He's on pace for almost 2 WAR. I mean, I'll take it. I don't dig the 6-16 record, but I would take 2 WAR out of my number 4 starter. Okay. Yes, you're right. It was 11 years ago. I was wrong. Game 2 against Miami. Oh, extra inning loss. So 2 of our losses this week have been in extra innings. Can we bounce back? Let's bounce back with a win. 6-3. All right, so we lost 4 in a row, but now we've won 4 out of 5. Greer's not playing much, but he's hitting this year. 6 for 13. 462. Correa with a couple of hits. Vukovic drives in a couple. Cruz hits his 5th home run. Suarez gets the win. So Dakota Hudson, we made him a reliever, and he may not be thrilled about it, but he's pitching pretty well out of the pen. 181 ERA plus, 2.35 ERA. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we win this game, we end up 5-5 on the trip. And given we lost our first 4, that's a pretty good trip. Nope. All right, so we end up 4-6 on the road trip. Man, Grady Sizemore was so good until he got hurt. I remember he signed with the Red Sox at the end of his career. And I was just hoping that he would come back and be 80% of what he was. He was such a stud with Cleveland for maybe not a long time, but he was so good. Grady Sizemore. Let's look at Grady Sizemore. Well, I'm going to look at Grady Sizemore. Yeah, he was so good. Came to the Red Sox in 2014. Hit 216. He was really good. All right, so we got 3 games against LA, followed by 1 against San Francisco. Yeah, he was not a stud for a long time, but when he played, he was, because he got hurt all the time. All right, game 1 at home against the Dodgers. Let's win 2 out of 3. Let's win 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers at home. Come on. We've lost 2 straight now. There we go. We win that one. Lujan, 15 home runs, 31 knocked in. He's on pace for 44 home runs, on pace for 8 wins. I'd take that. Correa's hitting 240. That's not going to get it done. Rocker gets the win, pitches really well. Okay. Let's win this game and take 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. No. Oh, hell. Who pitched? Webb? Buttrey gave up 5. Hudson gave up 4. That was... Greer came in and pitched the final 2/3 of an inning. That was a garbage game. All right, let's win this game and at least end up over 500 for the month of May. We lose 5-1. All right, so we're 28 and 29. Sizemore, Phillips, yeah, that was a deal. That was a deal. Yeah, I feel bad for the Expos, man. They had their '94 season wiped out because of the strike. They were, I mean, that '94 team. That was a great team. Marquise Grissom, Delano DeShields, Larry Walker. That was a great baseball team. All right, so it is June 1st. We are 28 and 29. We are 9.5 games out of first place, 2.5 games out of a wild card. The offense has struggled here a bit over the last couple of weeks. Our bullpen is not particularly good, but our starters have been excellent. So from an upgrade perspective, there's not a whole hell of a lot we can do because, I mean, we got $3 million. So we could potentially upgrade our bullpen if we could find somebody to retain the entirety of the contract. So I don't want Buelvas playing every day. I would rather have Greer out there in right field. I'd rather have Greer out there in right field. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't doing this before. And Buelvas can back up there and there and there. Actually, Biggio should probably back up in right field. And against lefties, yeah, Buelvas is getting exposed a little bit playing every day, so trade the farm and go all in. Well, yeah, that was a Dave Dombrowski team. That's what he did, right? I think Dombrowski was leading the Expos when they made that deal. That's just what he did. All right, so we are at June 1st. Let's look at player development. Ooh, I like all those pluses I see there. Penango continues to get better. Man, he's going to be a stud if that growth continues. Contact up to a 60. Oh, me? No, I don't want to do that right now. We've got a lot of young players that are working their way up. Penango, just a great Rule 5 find. Cruz is up to 4 stars in the minor leagues. He is angry, as he probably should be. I got to figure out a way to get him into the lineup. Against righties, he is really damn good. Para still has some pop, but he's fallen behind some other players. Do it, coward. I will not do that. Jordan Lawler continues to get better. He will likely be our starting shortstop next season if Correa opts out. Kind of hope Correa opts out at this point, given that Lawler's potential ratings are what Correa is right now. Guy Garibay will be in our lineup next year. I keep forgetting about him. He's not hitting in Double-A, but he's going to be a beast. Drew Jones, a bit of a disappointment here. It's our second overall pick. He's hitting a little bit in A-ball. Hopefully the development comes. He still has some power. He looks like he's going to be a kind of all-glove, no-bat kind of. Random Task would not do it. I know how Random Task manages a team. He hoards his prospects and doesn't trade them. Zach Robinson, we should move him up. You can't make a trade with Random Task. I've tried. You love to go on playing on. Yeah, it's you're playing online, man. It's just prospect humpers. Just everybody is a prospect humper. Tony Blanco Jr. We picked him up in a trade last season, a first baseman with some pop. So a lot of good here with our development for some of our young players, which I like to see. Ohtani, your batter of the month in the AL. Bryce Harper in the NL. Joe Ryan, now of Cleveland, wins the pitcher of the month in the AL. Pablo Lopez in the NL. AL Rookie of the Month, Jesse Franklin. And Lujan, no surprise, your Rookie of the Month in the NL. He's at 3 WAR on the season, 3.1 WAR for Julio Lujan, on pace for 8.8 WAR, making that contract look worth it. Alec Thomas at 2.6, O'Neal Cruz at 1.1. Yeah, I kind of hope Correa opts out, truth be told. With Lawler sitting there waiting to come up, Correa's definitely better defensively, but we can use that $32 million. Online, there's no rush. You can't get fired. You just sit and wait. Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely. It's exactly. You're 100% right. Andy Yerzy with the 1124 OPS. Let's go. He's a beast. He is a beast. Andrew Vaughn, 12 for 40. He's hitting a little bit this year. He's the one that would get moved if we were to bring up... where is he? Is he hurt? No. All right, I'm confused. Where is... Pedro Cruz is in AAA. Oh, he's right there. He's hurt. Okay. Yeah, so he's still down for another 2 to 3 weeks. So we don't have to make any moves right now. You make it sound so fun, Random Task. Everyone metagames. It's excruciating. Yeah, you make it sound fun. Yeah, everybody tries the same strategy, which is I want to squeeze every ounce out of every trade deal I can get, and I want to fleece everybody that I can possibly fleece. And that's no fun. All right, so what do we got to do? It's June 1st. Let's, I guess, pause for a second and let's take a look and see what we can do. Does he want an extension? Only wants 1 year. Dakota Hudson, we're not going to re-sign. Kevin Biggio, I mean, I came into this thinking he was going to be a 1 year thing, but if he hits, he's really got Lolly, you're not sure you can play shortstop with 60 range. Do you know if because obviously we all know that the catcher ability isn't as critical as it was before. Do we know if the same holds true for, I'm going to call Lawler up to AAA, for shortstop ability yet? Is it the same thing? When you make a trade that I just got a text message. Who is this? Oh, I know who that is. No, you were supposed to call me yesterday, so now you can wait. Yeah, do you know if Random Task, do you know if catcher, if shortstop, has this been nerfed at all as well? We know catchers have, but do we know if that has as well? Anybody interested in Andrew Vaughn? Range, ability, and arm, not in any order. Yeah, I hear you. But I guess I have to figure out whether or not 70 range and less and $32.25 million less is more important than 60 range and having $32.25 million. You know, that's what it's going to boil down to, really. So we get Kyle Muller. No, he's no good. Brooks Wilson isn't bad. I mean, I would trade Andrew Vaughn for a stud reliever. We do need some bullpen help. Get Shea Langelier from Oakland. If we just do all relievers. Huh, okay. So I guess there isn't much value in him. Hang on just a second, guys. I have a follow-up phone call with a gentleman who owns 35 travel baseball teams. and potentially going to be broadcasting some games for him this summer. So that's what that is. He was supposed to call me yesterday. He never did. So now he can wait until I'm free. All right. So nobody's interested in Andrew Vaughn, or nobody that I would want is. Now that might have something to do with the amount of money these guys are making, though, because we only have like $3 million or something. I would love to pick up it's a free agent. Oops. Okay. So the AI doesn't hate that. This offer isn't good enough, but I think we're close. I want your best player. Okay. My understanding is 65 range is the minimum. The jump between 65 and 70 in terms of wins is not that large, but 60 to 65 is pretty big. Minor league teams are not that. I mean, I can tell you firsthand that minor league teams are not that lucrative. I've been fighting to get paid a reasonable wage from the minor league team that I do stuff for, and it's been a battle because there's just no money in it. So, all right, so we will do it this way. Let's offer that deal and see if they're interested in that. And let's get on to June. 8-4 loss. All right, so he has turned down our offer, but it's close. He wants one of our best players. Okay, so it's not that close. Dummy. Who do I have that I'm willing to give? Look at all these prospects, guys. I love it. Love it. Yeah, I don't want to give up many of these guys. Like, really, anybody above him. Man, I would love to pick up Jeffrey Springs. All right, well, they don't want to give him up, so we will hold off. This is like trading in online leagues. Yes, I want your best players for my below-average players. All right, let's avoid the sweep. So we're now 2 games under 500. Make it 3 games under 500, so we got 3 games at home now against Detroit. That's about 4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row. Come on. There we go. Correa's down to 223. Gets 2 hits in this one, 2 RBIs for Vukovic, Pinango, Cruz. Webb gets the win. Yeah, our starters slumped that time through the rotation. Can we win this one? Take the series before we go to Cincinnati, please. Three, 2 win. Okay, so back-to-back wins. Back to 2 games under 500. O'Neal Cruz with is that a home run? Yeah, he had a 2-run homer, had a single. Vukovic with 2 hits. Suarez gets the win. I am going to have to see what sort of demand is out there for Suarez. I'm going to have to. It just, given where we are, God, our fan interest down to a 48. Not much. Not much interest in him at all. Oh, it's because I have it set on all relievers. Let's look at all pitchers. Correct. Yes. Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I'm thinking if I can get a pitcher that is, 70% of Suarez for a tenth of the cost, it's something I have to consider. But the question is whether or not that person exists. Luzardo, Braxton Garrett, Savale, no. Kansas City wants to give up a bunch of mediocre pitchers for him. Dubin's not terrible. Control's rough, but he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. So could probably get away with that a little bit. It's not a trade I would make, but bring back Corbin Martin. Can we get Zach Gallen back? That would be nice. Will Crow. Give me Zach Gallen back. No, not at $9 million. I'm good. All right, we got to start simming. Got 3 games on the road against Cincinnati. If Brubaker isn't a bad option, if this was real life, you would do Tyler McGill. We can go back and look at them. So we lose again. Phoenix is the best. I'm assuming that's what PHX means. Hi, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. We are in our 3rd full season here with the Diamondbacks. It's been an uphill battle, as it usually is in the NL West. We're 3.5 games out of a wild card, 11 games out of first base. I am good. I am quite good. I've got my iced coffee, got my air conditioning. The Celtics just manhandled the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 7, so I'm in a good place right now. Let's go back and you said Kansas City. So Brubaker, you said, wasn't a bad option. And you would do Tyler McGill. Where was Tyler? Who did Tyler McGill play for? Yeah, absolutely, Phoenix. You are in the right spot, man. This is going to be a this is going to take us. I think. How long did we go last year? Random task. Do you remember with the Colorado Rockies? I think we went like 15 seasons, and then I simmed ahead up to 50. Right? I think that's what I did. Chris Bubik. Good below average stuff and control, good movement. He was a 2-win pitcher last year, 2.8 in ARB this season. Won 6.3 next season. Tyler McGill is on the Mets. All right, we'll go and look at him in a second. I mean, Bubic isn't terrible, I guess. Good movement. I mean, he was good last year. 1.4 WAR, even though his ERA plus a little bit low. Yeah, I think we simmed 15 seasons. So Phoenix, this is going to be a long-term thing for us, where we'll take this probably until end of the year. More than likely, probably take this to November or December, and then kind of do some funky stuff like we did last year. In January, once we were done with the Colorado Rockies, we did a draft of glory with the Texas Rangers, where the only players on my big league roster could be players that I drafted, either in the first-year player draft or in the Rule 5. And we ended up winning the World Series after about 7 or 8 years, which was a lot of fun. But as a Lacey, not with that control. I mean, I love the fastball, curveball, slider, but not with that control. I mean, maybe I could get them both. Maybe I can get them both. We're close. We're close, but we want one of your best players. Who is my favorite player? My favorite player is probably Xander Bogaerts. I'm a, you can see by the stuff behind me, and my hat, actually, I'm a Boston sports fan through and through, so probably Xander Bogaerts. Lacey could be he probably would be a good reliever. Be curious what that stuff would jump to. So I'm not willing to give up any of those players, but I would. Okay. So where do we go from here? We got Jaden Hill or Jamison Hill. Meh. I mean, he's Cody Bellinger. Is he from Arizona? Or did he go to Arizona State? Let's look. Cody Bellinger. Where is Cody Bellinger from? Cody Bellinger is from Scottsdale, Arizona. He is indeed an Arizonian. And he didn't go to college. He was drafted straight out of high school. All right, so if we could do something like this. All right, now we're talking. Now we are talking. Mitchell Stumpo should probably be in the majors with those ratings. So what do we do? Yeah, he's from Chandler. That's what, or at least that's what Baseball Reference said, and they're never wrong. Am I jumping on this deal too early? Like, am I making this deal because it's, the first time we've come close to making a deal? Like, I don't really want to give up Reimer. He's our first round pick, high work ethic, but he's not particularly good. What are you going to Arizona for? Let's look at the Mets, because that was the... So, I mean, we could make this deal. Lacy and Bubic for Suarez, Reimer, and Hill. I'm just looking at their how popular they are. Let's look at the Mets, because that was the other one that you had mentioned. Tyler McGill. I guess we'll just do it this way. Oh, he's in AAA. The movement in Arizona concerns me. And how do we feel about this? Dreamy Morning, thank you for the follow. Your wife and I are doing some national parks, and you're going to stop in a place called Antelope Canyon. Very cool. My father-in-law has one of those national park books that you get like stamps in, because that was the big thing when my wife was a kid. Was he would pack them all in the car, and they would drive to national parks, and he would get the stamps in the book saying you've been to this one and that one and this one. So, what do we think about this deal? Really? Okay, so you're all of a sudden not interested if I ask you to retain. Okay, good to know. What do we think about this deal? Ranger Suarez, who is, arguably a solid pitcher. A stupid high BABIP this year, giving up 87 hits in 71 innings, 7-3 though, 1.3 WAR. He signed 8.5 this year, 12.5 next year, 15 the year after that. Reimer, who was our number one pick in 2022. What website is this called? What website? What are you talking about? Reimer is a 20-year-old shortstop. OSA doesn't like him. We like him. He's listed as shortstop. He's never going to play shortstop. He's potentially a third baseman. The high work ethic. He could develop with the high work ethic. And then Jamison Hill. I don't know. I don't feel like this is enough. Bubic, with the movement, I feel like would be a pretty solid addition. It's not a website, Phoenix. This is out of the park baseball. It's here. I'll pull up the website. It's a company that is run by a couple of Germans, actually. A couple of guys based out of Germany. This is the website, Out of the Park Developments. They've been making, this is the 23rd version of this game. So it is hands down the best baseball simulation out there. So if you love baseball and you want to play it without necessarily you're not concerned about the graphics and stuff, this is the game for you. And I guess while I'm linking things, I will link my YouTube page. I'm playing this on General Manager Games. It's run by a gentleman by the name of Chris. Gives people like me an opportunity to kind of get our own self out there. That is my personal YouTube channel. I've got another Out of the Park Baseball game on there. But yeah, Phoenix, this is a game called Out of the Park Baseball. It's an outstanding game. Head Conch Crow is retaining some money in option. They didn't seem crazy about the idea. Like, as soon as I go to 5%, they go submit your offer. But I wonder if, like, if we go to 50%, if we go to 50%, they want Alek Thomas. So, kick rocks. Like, they're not crazy about retaining money at all. Yeah, they don't appear to want to retain anything. I mean, they could retain 10%, and I could throw in another piece that I don't care about. Retaining with the AI is not going to be worth it here. He's still in ARBs. Yeah, right. I mean, I could get them to retain 10%, and I could give them a 29-year-old catcher, which would be fine. I mean, it saves us another $285,000. So what do we? I mean, Jamison Hill. I mean, Bubic and Lacey. Lacey's still young. Probably make him a reliever and see if that stuff jumps up to like a 70, because that would be sweet. Bubic would slot in to Suarez's role. His ARB number is 6.3, so that would be about half of what we would be paying Suarez. So do we think we can get 2 WAR out of Chris Bubic next season? Because that's really... Maybe try to trade Correa and get... I mean, we can try. We can try. Here, you want Carlos Correa, and... They can't accept it. They can't quite accept this deal with Carlos Correa in there. They can't quite accept it. Not quite enough. Stupid baseball game. So the question becomes, do we think we can get 2 WAR out of Chris Bubic? I feel like that's a reasonable ask, because if we're going to pay half, essentially, we're going to pay Bubic about half of what Suarez was getting paid, then, can we get half the production? So, I don't know. I think maybe we pull the trigger because it's, more entertaining that way to make deals than not to make deals. Do they have any players in AAA that I would want to add to this? There's Brubaker. Anybody who's on a minor league? Oh, I kind of like Dylan Coleman. He looks like a decent bullpen. He's pitching really, really well in Omaha. You want to give me Dylan Coleman as well? Nope, you don't want to give me Dylan Coleman at all. Jack Little, extreme fly ball. I didn't like Brubaker. It was $1.6 million. I mean, I guess ground ball pitcher. He was a negative WAR pitcher in Kansas City last year. Making 1.6. Or negative WAR pitcher this year for Kansas City. I don't really like him. That was the guy you're talking about? Yeah, I don't really like him, though. Gabe Spire could be an interesting piece. Fastball, slider, good movement, good control, ground ball pitcher. Again, pitching really well in Omaha. He's 29 years old. I don't get this. Okay. All right, I guess let's take our 10%. Let's take our 10%. Let's do this. Let's make the deal. It's more interesting to make trades than it is to not make trades. So can we do this without Reimer, though? I really would rather not give up Reimer. I mean, we could add Vaughn and then see if we can get one of these guys. Can we get Coleman then? Freeman, Graveman, Greer, Holton. Who is Holton? Tyler Holton is not particularly good. Did I have Gabe Spire on the Rockies? I don't think so. And I could easily go look. I've got the save right here. Yeah, I don't think so. So, yay or nay? Is this a deal we want to make? We got Asa Lacy, Chris Bubich, with them retaining 15%, and Dylan Coleman, a 27-year-old, making the league minimum for Ranger Suarez, Andrew Vaughn, and 3 minor leaguers. What do we think? If we move Vaughn, that then allows us to, when he is no longer hurt, that allows us to call up Fadriel Cruz and get him out there and get him some playing time. So what do we think? Is that a deal we want to make? You think I should hold on to Vaughn? The problem is the deal falls apart without him. So can we do this? Here we go. All right. This I can get behind. Suarez and 4 players I don't care about for Asa Lacy and Chris Bubich. So basically we're banking on Lacy and Bubich to replace 70% of what we were getting out of Suarez. What if I don't ask for retention? In terms of what? Like, I mean, I don't care about any of these players. Like Ramses Malave, I don't care about him. Jamison Hill is a 25-year-old hadn't pitched above high A ball before this year. Dominic Miraglio's a nothing piece, and Tyler Holton is 27-year-old who is putting up a 5 ERA in AAA. Really, it's only Suarez. Head honch Crow says no. I gotta ask why. So it'd free up about $4 million, so it gives us about $7 million to try to find another piece that maybe we can then use Vaughn to try to pick up another piece for the bullpen. I'm really interested in what Asa Lacy would become as a reliever. If he can stay healthy, I think he'd be really good. Oh, he posted no, and I had Vaughn. All right, so we're going to make the deal. We are going to make the deal. Ranger Suarez and 4 minor leaguers for Asa Lacy and Chris Bubich. We traded for an all-star, so that's a good thing. All right, so it means we got to send a pitcher down. I think it's going to be Pacheco. He's been our worst pitcher thus far. And we are then going to go to here. We are going to call both of these guys up. And Bubich will go into the lineup. What is Lacy? Yeah, 65, 50, 35. Let's try him out as a reliever. We'll see how it goes. We'll just start as a middle reliever and see how it goes. So that gave us some money for this season. We didn't take a fan interest bump because they didn't care about him, apparently. So hopefully we can do some winning now. Game 2 in Cincinnati. 5-4 win. Vukovic, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Lujan, Greer. We get home runs from Lujan, Correa, Vukovic, and Greer. So 4 home runs. And this one, the Correa batting average is really concerning me. That's really, really concerning me. Ramsey David goes to 9-1. Third game in Cincinnati. 6-1 loss. 4 against the Mets now, so we're 3-5 this month. Make it 4-5. 3 hits and an RBI for Vukovic and Cruz. Penango has a couple of hits. There we go. Chris Bubich, 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Good first start. Game 2 against the Mets. 6-4 loss. What's that, 4-6 this month? Get 4-7. Look at Olipus, 8-0 with a 1.60 ERA. Okay, well, this is not going well. 13-14 in April, 14-13 in May, 4-8 so far here in June. And we got the Brewers. That was a big win because we got Burns and Woodruff coming up now. Correa with a couple of hits. Penango 3 hits. Got that average at 312. Webb gets the win. Game 2 now against Burns. 3-2 win. We beat Corbin Burns. Penango 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Average up to 320. Yeah. He is weird. He either... I've taken him in the Rule 5 so many times between Out of the Park 22 and 23. And he never really plays to his ratings for me, but he is so far here, so I will take it. Bubic again with another nice start. 7 innings of 2-run ball. So far, so good on that front. We got Woodruff here in Game 3 against Milwaukee. We sweep. Let's get the sweep. We get the sweep over Milwaukee. Let's go. 6-2 win. Kumar Rocker picks up. Did he get the win? He did. 6 2/3 innings of 6 strikeout ball for Rocker. Cruz hits his 9th home run. Guzman drives in 3. So Cruz showing a little bit more power this year. A little bit more power. If he can end up with 20 and 90, I mean, that's a great line. 278, 318, 460. I expected a little higher on base. I mean, the eye isn't great, but I don't know. I guess I expected more than 27 walks, but given that he's a plus defender, slightly above average defender at third base, I'll take it. All right, so we're off today, and we got the White Sox for 2. Ow. We got July coming up, and July is obviously the big month. July's probably going to take us an hour and a half, given the draft and the trade deadline and everything. So 2 games under 500. We got 2 games at home against the White Sox. Let's see if we can get back to 500. 6-5 win in extras. Spread the love around here. Correa with a couple of hits. Greer with a couple of hits. Guzman with a couple of hits. Correa still not hitting, though. Biggio hits his 8th home run of the year. The win goes to Daniel Hudson. How is Asa Lacy doing so far? 4 innings, 1 run. Works for me. If we win this, we're facing a pitcher who's currently 1-7 with an ERA of 9. So you know that means we're going to lose this game, right? We win. The reverse jinx. Alek Thomas 2 hits. Correa with another home run. Penango 2 hits. Greer 2 more hits. Vukovic homers. Ramsey David is now 10-2 in his rookie season. On pace for a 22-win rookie season. I'll take it. And the ratings, man, just are not that good, but he's getting the job done. So we're back to 500. So that was a rough start to the month, but we've rebounded. So we are now 9-8. And we're in the wild card. We retook the wild card spot there with that winning streak. So what do we got going on now? So we got 3 against Kansas City. So I wonder if we're going to go against Suarez. We are in Game 2. We're going to go against Suarez. So let's see how this series goes. We've won 5 straight. We lose the first game of the series. Here we go against Suarez. Let's see how this goes. We win 10-6. Neither pitcher did well. Suarez got knocked out after 2. Bubic got knocked out after 3. But our offense outduels their offense as Cruz, Vukovic, and Thomas all hit their 10th home runs of the year. 4-hit game for O'Neal Cruz. Correa's down to 210. I just want to see. We get Lucas Giolito. What if we retained 35%? Because if he's hitting like this, he's not going to opt out. He's absolutely not going to opt out of the contract, and we're going to have 32-30 and 27-5 for the next 3 years. So maybe he becomes an all-glove, no-hit shortstop. Who knows? Third game of the series against the Royals. Can we take the series? We do. 4-0 shutout. 3 hits for Lujan. Cruz 2 more hits. Vaughn has 2 hits. Kumar Rocker. There you go. 7 innings, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts. That's why we picked him up. All right, so Vaughn is still hitting. And it's a relatively small sample size, but he's still hitting. Cruz is ready. I mean, I don't know what else. Cruz has nothing left to prove. What do we have on the trade block? We got Loasiga. He's $13 million this year with Kansas City. I mean, Springs is the right answer because he's only making 1.6, but last time we tried this, they weren't interested. Yeah, they want Cruz, Thomas, or Webb. What if we go back to Kansas City and say, give me Jonathan Loasiga, but you have to retain. Oh, they're only paying 80% or 90% of his contract. Okay. All right. So let's go back and talk to Kansas City some more. I'm not giving them any of this, but we can start with Andrew Vaughn. Biggio, Cruz. Okay, I'm not giving any of those players up. I didn't think I'd be doing a lot of trading here in June, but here we are. Let's offer this deal. Vaughn and Lou Fuenmayor for Jonathan Loasiga and see what they say to us. My guess is they probably come back saying it's close and then they ask for one of our best players, but we will see. So we're on the road now to finish off the month of June, all interdivisional games, so all very important games. First one is, let's get off to a good start here. A 3-2 loss. No way. But there are players on here that I'm not necessarily against trading. Like, I'm not against trading Para. So let's try something here. So if I put, is he not even listed as a prospect anymore? Huh. So Vaughn, I don't care about Fuenmayor. Vaughn is going to have his position usurped. So it's really Jesus Para for Loasiga, which to me seems like a no-brainer. It would be it would be a rental. It would absolutely be a rental. We won't be able to afford what he's going to ask for. But I don't know, bringing in Johnny Lasagna, to me that makes sense. Game 2 against San Diego. Ruskin, thank you for the follow. 7-6 win. Blake Workman's eligible to come off the DL. He's going to go on a rehab assignment. So we win 7-6. We score 2 in the 9th. Correa's down to 207. But Lujan, Vukovic, Pinango, and Cruz all have 2 hits. Ramsey David doesn't get the win. Doval gets the win. His ERA is at 4.57. I think we may need to... Let's change that. Let's move Hudson to long relief and get Doval out of that stopper role. I think maybe he's getting used too much. Lacey's not getting used enough. So let's go to Asa Lacey. Middle relief used more often and a specialist. I don't think we heard from Kansas City yet. Oh, no. No, we didn't. Okay. Mid-season review. He's happy with our record. He wants us to hit more home runs. Brought in Nate Pearson as a Gold Glove winner, so he's happy there. Expiring personnel. Everybody is expiring. Did I just crash the game? I just crashed the game. And because I just crashed the game, that's going to put us all the way back to May 1st. That sucks. That sucks. That's happened to me twice now. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is come in here And where is it? Son of a bitch. Not once a year, once a week. Yeah, F is right. Yeah, F is right. So we're back to May 1st. We are back to May 1st. All right. Well, shit. It is what it is. So we're going to have to sim forward. So all that shit that happened, pretend it didn't happen. But let's go... Man, that's annoying. That is annoying. All right. We're just going to play. It's Enrico Palazzo. Thank you for the follow, Enrico Palazzo. Very nice. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for all the follows here tonight, guys. We appreciate it. And we're just going to have to go back and we're just going to have to do it all again. Which means we probably are not getting through the end of July, which I don't know how interesting this is going to be for you guys to sit and watch all this again, but we got to do it. So we'll set this to save once a month going forward, so this stops happening. Or once a week, rather, so this stops happening. And if it happens again, we'll only lose a week rather than 2 friggin' months. But, yeah. That's really annoying. That's really, really frustrating. It's really frustrating. But that's okay. We're just going to play. We're just going to play. And we will try to replicate the deals as we get through the end of May. Try to replicate some of the meals, replicate some of the deals that we made. I'm just gonna go here. So we'll chat while I sim through the next couple of months, and we'll get ourselves back up to July 1st here relatively quickly, and hopefully things will look fairly similar to where we are now. One and 3. Yeah, I'm not even gonna pause to look at the games. We'll pause and look at stats as we go forward, but I'm not gonna look at each of the box scores like I normally do. Just want to get back to July. We sweep the Dodgers. That's nice. Greer's eligible to come off the DL. All right, so who goes down? Lopez went down. Bring Greer up. We come back into the lineup, and we put Greer in right. Have Biggio back up there. Now, Buelvas will back up in left and center. Biggio will back up and right. Vaughn will back up at DH. Vaughn will back up here. Every third game, not every third game, every fifth game, every seventh game. What'd you miss? The game crashed. The game crashed. Because Out of the Park hates me. So I have to go back and do it all over again. But I'm going to... I'm not going to pause and look at each of the games. I'm just going to sim and get ourselves back to where we were on July 1st. So the game hates me. What did we... So was the only deal that we made up to that point the deal for... So let's go here and let's go to trading block. Let's go to initiate trade. Let's go to Kansas City. And it was, let's see if we can replicate this stupid deal. So it was Bubic and Asa Lacy, wherever he is. Is he in AAA? Yep. Bubic and Asa Lacy for Suarez and a whole bunch of players that I didn't care about. So now I got to find those players that I didn't care about, which is just wonderful. Tyler Holton was one of them. There were a couple of catchers on that list. Ramses Malave was one of them. There was another catcher someplace. I'll make this work, and this will be relatively painless. We'll get back to where we were when it was all said and done, relatively quickly. And then there was another pitcher that I didn't care about. Where is he? Let's see if I can find him. Jamison Hill. That was the deal. And then they retained... Okay. I mean, no, we're not going to do that. They retained 25%, so that's what we're going to do. No, I was in my email, and I was clicking on my scout, because my scout's contract was up at the end of the year, so I was going to click on my scout and offer him a new contract, and it crashed. So, yeah, I will never do that again. I will never click here again. So here's the same deal. So Suarez, Holton, Malave, Miraglio, and Hill for Bubic and Lacey. We're making it a little bit earlier than we made it last year, or in the initial save, but whatever. I don't care. So Pacheco went to the minors. We called up Bubic and Lacey. Bubic goes there. We will make him a middle reliever and specialist. Doval, we're going to take out of the stopper role. We're going to make him a setup. Hudson, we're going to make long relief, and we're going to leave Barucki there. And we'll wait on the Loaisiga deal because we hadn't gotten an answer yet. So we're just going to sim quickly here through May and June. Let's see if we can get back to 500 here with a win over Colorado. Probably take me 15 minutes, maybe, to get through June again. Yeah, it's a good point. It's okay. I'm now going to save every week, so it's going to take a little bit longer, once you get to Sunday, but that won't happen again. Worst case scenario, we lose a week. We can't get to 500. We get close, and then we lose a game. So we're back to a game under 500, and we got 3 games in Milwaukee. This was that 10-game road trip we had where we went 4-6 before. Let's see what this sim does to us. I think we lost all 3 games in Milwaukee, if I remember correctly. So we picked it up when we started playing Miami. We played well here. I think we won a couple of games from the Dodgers. Yeah, we lost all 3 games against Milwaukee again. Oof, 5 games under 500 now. Ooh, 6 games. So the resim doesn't like us very much, guys. That's now a 6-game losing streak. Make it 7. Okay, make it 8. 9. We have lost 9 friggin' games in a row. We have lost 9 games in a row. All right. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to get angry. It's just a game. At least we won't trade for Loaisiga this time. We lose 10 in a row. There we go. All right. 10-game losing streak. Yeah, Aaron I'm definitely being trolled because we're going to get smoked by the Dodgers here. We've lost 10 straight games, and then we have the Dodgers coming to town. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This game, man. I love it. I mean, I absolutely adore Out of the Park baseball, but are you kidding me? We lose 10 games in a row, and we've swept the Dodgers twice. Where are we in the wild card? We're 7 games out of the wild card, 7.5 out of the division. Okay. We can still get there. And we went 4 in a row at the end of the month. Lujan is out day-to-day for 4 days. I was really concerned there. Para gets better, and these are all development things we've seen before. A lot of players getting better. A lot of our younger players getting better, which is nice. All right, so we are into June now. So I think right here No, we crashed at the end of the month because we got the notification about expiring contracts. So we're 8 games under 500. Nah, we'll get there. We'll keep going. I'm good. I am good. 9 games under 500. We'll bounce back. We got a talented team. Sort of. 8-4 win. Okay, so we win 3 in a row. So, yeah, I mean, we've bounced back nicely. I mean, we lost 10 straight, and now we've won 7 out of 9. So, I just want to get to July. I want to do international. I want to do the amateur draft. I want to do the trade deadline. And if we can get ourselves back into it, we can still look to trade Vaughn. Losing to Cincinnati. How is Cincinnati? Because we lost a bunch to them last time. So 34-30. So they're ahead of us in the race. We're 6 games out of the wild card, but we have 6 teams ahead of us. It's not going to be easy to crawl back into this, but it's doable. 4-3 win. Let's take 2 out of 3. Let's take 2 out of 3. It's going to save every week. I may go back to once a month because this is a little obnoxious, saving once a week like this. A 70-game on-base streak by Alec Thomas. How did I not notice that? He reached base in 70 straight games. All right. Mets, 2-1 loss. 2-1 win. Let's split the series. Let's take 2 out of 4. Ugh. We swept this series before. We win 2-1. Win 5-3. Now, those of you that are hanging with me, I appreciate it. We're almost caught back up. And I don't think we're going to be that far off from where we were. We were I think, 2 games under 500 before. So if we can win a couple of games here, we'll get close to that. So beat the White Sox. Yeah, so we're right back to where we were. So 35-39. Can we take 2 out of 3 against Kansas City? Lose the first game. Lose the second. That's a tough loss. 16-9-11. Let's win this one. It was right after one of these first games against against San Diego that we got the notification. And then we'll pause for a second. We'll kind of see how our stats compare. So we win 6-0 here. Do we have the email yet? We don't. How do things go here against San Diego? First game is a 3-2 loss. Second game against a bad pitcher, 0-6, 6.17 ERA. That's a game we needed to win. That's a tough one. That was a bad pitcher. Don't want to get swept against San Diego. Okay, so we're 6 games under 500, 8 out of first. Got 4 games against the Rockies to end the month. Come on. Biggio out for 3 days. We win that one. All right, so this is where we left off. So let's just go ahead and throw down a save. So we are back. We are back to where we were. We lost about 8 minutes. That wasn't too painful. We're a couple games worse than we were before. Let's see where we are in terms of the wild card. Expiring contracts. Yeah, I just need to offer all these guys contracts, so I'll do it from a different page. Top 100 prospects. We've got Araujo at number 8. So let's quickly go to the front office, personnel. Let's just offer everybody. Oh, those are all the minor leaguers. So who was it? It was, I think, everyone, right? Yeah, first, third, scouting, hitting, and bench. Okay, first, third, scouting, hitting, and bench. Jeff Bannister, we will sign him to a new deal. Sign both of our bench coaches to new contracts. We got Michael Hill. I think I just want to stick with Hill. I mean, he's excellent at everything, and he highly favors tools. So we will offer him an extension. I think I'm going to offer him a bit shorter contract in case somebody comes up that's like outstanding at everything and highly favors tools. And then Ben Johnson is our hitting coach. Gets along well with everyone except Trevino. Well, I mean, yeah, he's got good relationships with everybody. So I am good offering him an extension. All right, so we are all caught up. So we are in fourth place. We're 7.5 games out of first place. We are 6.5 out of a wild card with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams ahead of us. So it's not great. Not great. Pearson is not pitching well at all. He's 2-10. Chris Bubich has been average since coming over. He's walking too many. 25 walks in 47 innings. How is Lacey doing? Lacey's doing really well. 27 innings, 16 hits, 37 Ks. He's been amazing since coming over. All right. This version of Carlos Correa is hitting, though. So that's a good thing. Correa leads the team in WAR. He's a 3-WAR player. Alec Thomas is a 3-WAR player. Lujan is down to 250. Yeah, he's not the same as he was in the first playthrough, but that's okay. Yeah, our offense looks pretty sharp. I mean, we got some players who are underperforming. Guzman, but I don't really expect much out of him from a bat perspective. I just want him to play good defense, which he's doing, but he is really, really bad with the bat. This version of Vukovic is also not hitting. A little bit of power, but that's it. Penango was up to 320 in the other save. He's at 279 here. So have some players that are hitting, have some players that are not hitting. Pitching-wise, Webb 1.8, Rocker 1.6, David 1.5, Ramsey David 8 and 6. He was 10 and 2 in the other save, so that's a little disappointing. All right, so I don't think we really want to be adding. Like, I don't think, unless we can get, because one of the deals was, I mean, our bullpen is actually not the problem. Our bullpen in this playthrough is 6th. We're 12th in runs scored, but 6th in OPS. 4th in batting average, 6th in OPS, 12th in runs scored. Okay. So the top 4 are hitting for some power. Nobody else is. Do we want to make any changes? I don't think so. Why is Trevino... Okay, so Yerzy needs to play like every 4th game against righties. I don't want Biggio batting. I don't want Biggio hitting that much against lefties. And this is part of the reason Vaughn isn't hitting all that well, because he's got Biggio out there against lefties. Okay. So let's get to July 1st so we can start doing the fun stuff. Start doing drafts and whatnot. 6 games under 500. We got 2 games left this month. Two games in Colorado. It'd be nice to win them both. We win the first one 6-4. So we'll go back to looking at box scores here now that we're all caught up. Correa 3 for 4. Vaughn 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Vukovic homers. Lujan goes 1 for 4. Guzman with 3 hits out of the bottom of the order. Pearson pitched well enough to get the win, just didn't pitch long enough. And the final game of June in attempt number 2. Let's see how this goes. 7-6 loss. All right, so we end the month of June 6 games under 500 in the same place we were in before. Player development, Caleb Freeman gets better. Wow. Yeah, a lot better. Damn. Okay, so we need to start using him some more. Fadriel Cruz got better. We need to get him into the majors at some point. Lawler is destroying AA, so let's go ahead and call him up to AAA. Pitcher of the month in the American League, or hitter of the month, it's Alex Bregman. In the NL, it's Tatis. Pitcher of the month in the NL, Luis Oviedo. In the AL, it is Jake Odorizzi. Your rookie of the month in the NL, Nelson Velazquez, and Michael Hobbs in the American League. All right, so it's international signing time. I mean, I don't think we even need to think about it. Let's just see if there's... I think it's Jose Morales. High loyalty, high adaptability, high work ethic. Hopefully, he wants to play in the desert. Let's offer him the $5 million and see what happens. All right, so we got 6 at home, 7 at home, leading into the All-Star game. First game of the month. It's a 10-7 win. A lot of hits in this one. 16 hits. Lujan goes 1 for 4. Buelvas has 2 hits. Cruz has 2 hits. Vukovic has 2 hits. Penango has 3. Biggio has 2. Yerzy has 2. Logan Webb can't go 5, so we can't get the win. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we do not get a notification email, because if we get a notification email, that means that second baseman is not going to sign with us. Hopefully it just continues to sim ahead. 4-3 loss. And there it is. Jose Morales, the newest member of the Arizona minor league system. He is a stud. I don't know where he's going to play because he's not a second baseman, but we'll find a home for him. We will find a home for him. Yeah, he can't play defense at all, but he's got a stick. So, third game of the series against San Diego. That's not good. All right, so now we got Pittsburgh. 2-2 out of the gates here. Vukovic got that average up to 214. Lujan at 255 is a little concerning. He's still on pace for 4 WAR, but still. Biggio 3 hits. Pearson gets the win. Oops. All right, what's going on here? Second game against the Pirates. When we get to the All-Star break, we'll look at our roster and see. I mean, we're right on the edge, so it's hard for me to sit here and say I want to trade all these players, but I don't know. I don't feel like moving. I mean, there are certain players up right that we're not going to trade. Lujan, Cruz, Vukovic, Thomas. I mean, there's some players we're just simply not going to move. But, someone like Vaughn, someone like Kevin Biggio, like those are players that we potentially should be looking to move. David picks up the win. So we've won 2 in a row here against Pittsburgh. Can we make it 3 straight? Nope. And we lose Logan Webb for the year. Well, shoot. All right, well, I think that answers what the play is this year. Ethan Small, do we call him back up? He's been pretty bad in AAA. Hunter Stanley, I guess. Yeah, he's probably the best option, although he hasn't been all that good. All right, well, that sucks. So we lose our ace. Put Stanley in the rotation. And let's see how this game goes against Pittsburgh. So we're 3-3 this month, but we just lost Logan Webb for the year. Oh, right, I got to shut off the saving every week. I think I'm going to just do every month because this is obnoxious. It's a 2-1 loss. We get a trade offer from the Guardians. They want to send us Phil Matone and Emerson Perroy for Guzman and Glenn Allen Hill. I don't know that that's a deal I want to make. I mean, maybe if we could take Guzman out of it. I'm not even... No, that's just dumb. All right, that's just dumb. All right, so it's All-Star game. It's a good thing I have Bubic. Yes, it is. A good thing I have Bubic and Lacey. All-Star team is going to be announced at the end of the day. So we're 10.5 games out. We're 7 games under 500, and we are without our starter. All right, so the All-Star rosters. Who made it from Arizona? Kumar Rocker, Edwin Uceta. So we had 2 pitchers. And in the outfield, we had Alec Thomas make it, and that was it. So 2 pitchers and an outfielder. Prospect game. Fadriel Cruz and Guy Garibay. Okay. Let's get through the first-year player draft, and then we'll start talking about, because I figure the draft is probably going to take the majority of the time I have left here. So let's get through the draft, and then we'll talk about potentially making some trades leading into the deadline. I got to shave. This is my my hockey playoff beard, so I should have shaved this yesterday, but I didn't. So now it's bothering me, and I got to shave it tonight. All right, so here we go. First-year player draft. We are picking 6th. We moved up from 8, so that's nice. The mock draft has us taking Cody Schreier. You know what you're getting out of Cody if you've been playing out of the park baseball at all. Very good defensively. Looks like he has a decent bat in this version of out of the park baseball. But if I remember correctly, there were a crap ton of high-quality hitters in this draft. Yep. A lot of good hitters in this draft, so we can probably get something better than Cody Schreier. So let's hope and see what happens. So with pick number 1, Oakland takes Malachi Knight. No surprise there. Looks like an absolute tank. Pick number 2, Bryce Clavin, Brock Thompson. Yeah, it's all the hitters are going here, which is not a surprise. There goes Schreier at 5. It's now our pick. So we've got some options. Brendan Siegler right off the bat. Looks like a really good bat. Below average glove in left field. Slate Alford, a third baseman with some pop. Wants a little bit less. What do we have for... Our draft budget's 12, so that first batter wanted $10.5 million. So that would eat up the majority of what we have. Angel Cepeda, second baseman with a decent bat. He wants slot. Caleb Dickey, no. I mean, I think the move is Brendan Siegler and then just kind of work around what we have left for our budget. So we got $20 million. You don't think he's below average in the field? 45 range, 55 error, 55 arm? I mean, he can only play left. And I think Siegler is the pick. Everybody else has got something that they are below average at, or at least average at with the stick. Every one of Siegler's hitting tools is above average. So I think Brendan Siegler is the easy and safe pick. And then we'll see what's around in round 2. I didn't think there was anybody else here that I wanted to look at. Jaden Knight. Again, average in the field. He's not a center fielder. Hopefully he's there with our second pick. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah. Yep, he is the best option. So we will take... He wants 10.5, recommended slot 7.9. So my guess is we're going to have to give him $10 million, but that is fine. So we will take Siegler with our first pick. Let's go to our next pick. All right. So now what do we got? Let's just look at pitchers. This was not a particularly good draft for pitchers. Yeah, just not a particularly good draft for pitchers. Yep, this is going to be a pretty heavy pitcher or hitter heavy draft, I should say. Adding potential. Yeah, I mean, he's young. He was 18 years old, so there's going to be a lot of room for growth. Eric Griffin, I mean, bonus demand is 900. I mean, I absolutely love that eye. I kind of like Eric Griffin with our second pick because that eye is elite. Take all the pitchers out of there. Tyson Lewis. Really average at everything, literally. I mean, that's bizarre. Like, every single one of his ratings peaks between, like, 40 and 55. How tall is Griffin? 6 feet? 6 feet, 185. Is 6 feet tall enough to play third base? I mean, he can play third. I mean, he's got average defensive ratings. He can also, excuse me, potentially play left as well. Or first if we needed him to. That eye is bonkers. That's kind of the way I'm leaning. Dalen Wynn Brown. Another... I love that profile. Low contact, high home run, high eye discipline, high avoid K. But again, he's not a second baseman. He's another one who could play first base or left. Yep, Eric Griffin, you're right. I'm not going to overthink it. That eye is too good to pass up. I'm hoping Wynn Brown is there with the next pick because I'll take him too because of that batting eye. And he is. I'm not even going to think about it. Recommended slot is 1.5. And we're going to take him as well. So we're taking a lot of high schoolers here. So no immediate help for us on the horizon. But 21-year-old catcher out of Vanderbilt. Looks like he can hit. Catcher ability is not particularly good, so he's probably not really a catcher. He can play right field, I guess, with the arm. Yeah, I mean, Tyson Lewis isn't bad. I mean, he's literally, like I said, he's literally average at, like, everything. Matthew Champion. It's a two-way player, although he can't really pitch. Arm at third needs to be 65 at the minimum. I think we go Tyson Lewis just because, I mean, decent contact. I mean, all of his hit tools are average or above average, and then, you know, maybe he becomes a second baseman, maybe he becomes a first baseman. I don't know, maybe he becomes an outfielder with those ratings, but he can hit. He can hit enough, I think, to make it worth it. Lewis's turn, DP 50. Oh, ow, my legs hurt. Let's do it this way. Let's look at fielding ratings. That's not where I wanted to go. I want to go here. South of Scene. 19 years old, below average hit tool, but very good defensively, good speed. Maybe we need more of these guys. Looks like we've got a few bats. Maybe we need more players like South of Scene. He's tiny, 5'9", 145 pounds. Whether or not he ever hits enough will remain to be seen, but Lewis is fine. All right, let's take Lewis, because that's where I was going initially. If South of Scene is there with the next pick, we'll take him. Fielding ratings, infield range, he is. We're going to take South of Scene. Wants over demand, but we should be able to pay him as long as we offer him before we offer the guys that we drafted ahead of him. Xavier Bussey's 24. Fabio Peralta, no. Let's look at this. What do we got going on here? Individual pitch potential. We got any young players? We got Victor Quinn. No. Keegan Batka. Almost fully developed. Jace Dollander, low greed. I'm looking for like a high work ethic guy who kind of falls into this. Ethan Hammer, he's a relief pitcher. That's not going to help. Cotto. Magdiel Cotto's not terrible. Nah. Bimby, Clayton Johnson. Troy Taylor, no. I've seen so many of these names so many times between Out of the Park 22 and 23. And I stop and I look at them every single time, hoping that the next time through that they're different. Connor Stain. I mean, really high floor and really low ceiling. 4+ pitches. I'd prefer somebody who had like really good stuff and maybe... So Culpepper's still there. So I think at this point, Culpepper's probably not a bad pick. I was looking at him, or at least I looked at him in the second round. DeMel. High work ethic. He's not as good. We're going to take Culpepper. I did not have Connor Stain before. That's a name that I would have remembered. Kane Everwin. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Bryce Mayer. Really, I would love to see like an 18-year-old pop up here, but there just aren't any. This is crazy. They're all 21, 22, and 23. Not a single high school arm that shows up with... I guess that makes sense. You know, maybe a high school arm isn't as developed as a college arm, so it's not going to have the fastball. I don't know. Dalton Beck. Senior out of Texas Tech. Nah. Let's go back here. What do we got? Anything good? Ethan Anderson, high leader, loyalty, and work ethic, but can't really hit. But I like to grab myself a catcher, so it's probably the way I'm going to go. I'm taking Jade Melendez a bunch. I don't think he's ever really worked out. I like how like all the catchers are high leader and high work ethic. And Will King? Sure, why not? Let's look at Renee Lastris real quick. 35, 50, 45, 50, 40. You know what? I'm going to take Lastris instead. My nose is itchy. Let's go back to batting potential. Let's just look for like individual skills now. Orrin Abbott. Low leader, but he's got some home run power. Tyler Christmas. Good eye. That's about it. He'll never hit enough. Devin Burks. Good power, but again, won't ever hit enough. Slade Caldwell. I like Slade Caldwell. Average hitting tool, above average eye, high leader, high work ethic. Decent enough in the outfield, I guess. At this point, we're not necessarily grasping at straws, but you know, if you can find somebody who's got a relatable skill, then it might work out. Especially if they've got the high work ethic. Cole Crafton. Lincoln Way West. He's from our neck of the woods. Let's closer to you, I think, Random Task, than he is me. But I kind of like him. Take the 18-year-old out of Lincoln Way. It's not my pick. Is he there? Tell me somebody took him. Damn it, somebody took him. All right, well, that happens. Contact. What do we have for contact? Anything? Cameron Leach. Looks like a bit of a tool, so we're not going to take him. Adonis Velez. Sure, we'll take him. An 18-year-old with 50 hit power, 50 hit tool, that works. Mason Brassfield. Another 18-year-old. Sure. Going heavy on the 18-year-olds here. Dylan Campbell, no. Not going to spend a ton of time digging through looking for players that may be good but likely will turn into nothing. We'll look for a couple more players and then sort of call it a draft and get to the trade deadline. We'll take Clayton Johnson now. He's there. Those Vandy pitchers are worth a shot. We'll take Connor Stain. Get some low ceiling, high floor type pitchers in our system. Probably not the worst thing in the world. Christian Rodriguez. Kevin Miller. That's confusing. Kevin Millar. He played baseball for the Red Sox 15 years ago. Alex Edmondson. Logan Freeman, sure. This one's a lefty, though. All right. Let's find one more pitcher. And then Hayden Summers got 4 pitches. That's not terrible. Take Dalton back. Maybe, I don't know. I really shouldn't be thinking this hard about it. It's not that big a deal. It's probably not going to turn into anything, so. There we go. Dylan Carter. High work ethic. It's not my pick. And someone's going to take him, right? Someone's going to take him. Come on. Somebody took him. It's the second time that's happened. Yeah, because he was a replacement player in '94. Yep, he was a replacement player, so he doesn't show up in any of those games. Shows up in this, but he doesn't show up in any of those in any other games. Sure, Jake Knapp. We'll take Jake Knapp, and then we will call it a draft. We'll let the AI do the final 6 picks. All right, so we have to be smart about the way we negotiate because South Assine and Siegler both want over slot. We have to meet the demand, so we'll meet the demand there. And now we'll talk to South Assine. We will offer him the demand, and now we can go in here and offer these guys, and it won't be a problem. Dalen Brown. These guys are all extremely hard, so we're going to need to just offer them their signing bonus. All right, so where did all these players go? They went here, and this is something I have to adjust right now. We have too many players in our minor league on this team. Yeah, get my words out. So we're gonna just go ahead and get rid of anybody who's over the age of 23 is 23 and over who is a half star. These are players that are not going to turn into anything. All right, so that gets us down to 41. You don't think so? I'll have to look. I guess I've never really noticed it. I've never really thought about it. Losing Logan Webb hurts. That sucks. He wasn't really all that good, but losing him sucks nonetheless. All right. So let's take a look at our minor league system and make sure that we have everybody where we want them. So first of all, let's disable the AI promotion for we doing here? Why is this doing this? All right. Gage Harrelson is fine where he is. He's been down there a long time, though. He probably needs to come up. But I'm going to have to disable because it doesn't want to move him up. Culpepper, we will disable. Oh, look, it's our old friend Josh Eknes. He's been really bad. That's disappointing. I've drafted him in pretty much every single game that I've played offline, because I hope that he develops like he did in the Draft of Glory, but no luck so far. Jack Lausch, he needs to move up. Blake Sear needs to move up. Corniel, he's probably fine where he is. Del Castillo, he's probably due to come up. But we got Cuero blocking him. How's Cuero? Oh, Taylor's doing really well. So he did get a bump. His movement went from 45 to 55, so that's nice. So we will call him up to AAA. Hugh Fisher, we can enable. A lot of 2-stars. A lot of 2-star players. How's Cuero doing in AA? Oof. Okay, so he's not ready. So I think it is we do something like that. Garibay, average isn't there, but he's hitting fine where he is. You can't draft him in the 30th round. The draft is only 20 rounds in this. Well, I only have it set for 20 rounds in this save. Perkins. All right, so without having Logan Webb, I question whether or not we're going to be able to compete. So the trading chips that we have here are, I guess Correa, given that he's hitting. Is anybody interested in this version of Correa, given that he's hitting? Giolito, Jeffries, Kingery, and Corey Seager. Okay, so, if we wanted to get the money off the books, we just trade him for Jeffers, but I don't want to do that. I wonder if he puts up 6.7 WAR, you have to think he's going to opt out, right? You have to think he's going to opt out. So, we'll just wait and see what happens there. But let's just look at what Vaughn. They restructured the minors. Draft used to be like 50 or 60 rounds. Yeah, Mike Piazza was drafted in the 73rd round or something, wasn't he? All right, so we could get Huskar and Yoa from the Braves for both Vaughn and Biggio. Dean Kremer. Looks like he's okay. Jose Suarez is the same thing as Kremer, but not as developed. We could get a catcher from the Cubs. We could get a Miguel Amaya, Danny Jansen. We don't really need a catcher. Of course, Clark looks all right. Yeah, it's a whole lot of all right. Jordan Holloway. Go back to Kansas City again and just continue to trade with them. They seem to be a willing trade partner. Joe Adell? Nope. Not this version of Joe Adell. 62nd round in 88, yeah. I knew he was drafted super late. You got Matt Manning and Tyler McGill. I know you like Tyler. That's an obnoxious way to spell Tyler. Hasn't been good this year. It was really good last year. Do we try to pick up a Tyler McGill? You said you liked him. Matt Manning. Again with the really good movement. Davey Garcia, Adrian Martinez looks decent. Ryan Abreu. Isaac Paredes. No, thank you. Oof, Abreu. And that's an all-or-nothing pitcher right there. 30 control. Tylor. It is Tylor? That's obnoxious. Luis Quinones. Carlos Meza, 23 years old. Good stuff, good movement. He could be a lot of fun. Because he's a lefty as well. That control is just painful. I mean, McGill's 28. I mean, how much better is he? I mean, he is what he is, really, at 28. In real life, he's the second coming of DeGrom. Well, that would be nice. I mean, Andrew Taylor is probably a better option than him right now. And if I gave you him, could I get anything in return? Oof, that's a rough minor league system you got there, Mets. I mean, it's not going to happen, right? Really? Okay. All right, well, this is a no-brainer. This is an absolute no-brainer. You want fat? You can have fat. Brandon Fat. He's fallen off the past few weeks. He had an ERA under 3. He's an older rookie who took the league by storm. Yeah, he's 28. But, I mean, this seems like a deal I'd want to make. Another outfielder who is passable in left, passable in center, or passable in left. He can play left, he can play right, and if we absolutely needed him in a pinch to play center for a week or two, he could. He was drafted in the second round last season, rushed to the majors by the Mets. We'd probably put him back in Double-A, maybe Triple-A. I mean, this seems like an absolute slam dunk. So if you don't value him, does that mean you would give us another piece as well? No, I'm not giving you him. I mean, I would... No, I guess he's not that good. Neville, no. Mata can play first base, but the bat doesn't really play there. Donnie Ventura. The Rumble Ponies, one of the great names in minor league baseball. No, like I said, if I needed to put him in center field because, you know, Alec Thomas and Lujan and Greer all got hurt, I could put him in center field for a week and be fine with it, but he's 4th on that center field list. Mauricio in AAA. He's not even listed as a prospect anymore. Nestor Cortez. I mean, you got Matt Manning in AAA. Sure. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to do this. All right, so we're going to give up Kevin Biggio, who was a 1-year player for us. Next year, his ARB number last year was 4.8. Carlos Meza, decent stuff, or plus movement, really bad control. A lefty who doesn't throw particularly hard. Brandon Fat and Diosfran Cabeza. His last name is Head. That's great. And we're going to get Tyler McGill, who we will immediately put into our rotation. Matt Manning, who we will immediately put on our big league roster. And Kyle Huckstorf, the number 2 overall pick, or second overall pick. Second round pick, 66th overall from the Mets. Why would our available money... Oh, is it contract-oriented? What are these guys making? He's making the minimum. He's making the minimum, and he's making the minimum. Why would our available money drop? I don't understand. Biggio's making $3 million. I don't understand why our available money would drop. Make it make sense. All right, this game is weird. So it won't... This game is weird. So it won't retain any money on Manning, but it will retain money on McGill. Biggio. Oh, right. Thank you. Yep, you're right. Okay. What about Huckstorf? Will you retain for him? Nope. Okay, so now our available money is going to drop by $80,000, and that's fine. I like this deal. Let's make the deal. Players are disappointed. The players are disappointed seeing Kevin Biggio leave. That's fine. And then we get slightly and noticeably the fan interest bump. So we're back up to a 52, which is good. So... no, that's not where I wanted to go. Designated for assignment. So all three of these guys have to go on the 40. And then what do we want to do with our pitching staff? Buttrey hasn't been good. Can we give him away? Yeah. Thank you for catching that. You always catch the things I don't, and you make sure you call it out. So I appreciate that. I'm just looking for somebody who's on a minor league deal or making the minimum, and then we can... German Marquez, really? Okay, sure. Really? Okay. Do we get a fan interest bump for German Marquez? We don't. Okay. That doesn't really help me because I gotta put Marquez on the 40-man or on the roster as well. But Manning and McGill will both go there. We have too many pitchers now, so we gotta send another pitcher down. They literally would have been the two worst pitchers on our team. So Barucki and Uceta are Barucki and Graveman probably has some value, and we aren't going to be bringing him back. So let's see if there's any interest in Kendall Graveman. Not really. Got Dominic Smith, who can't hit. I can't believe... really, nobody's... okay, so I gotta sim ahead a day. Alright, so they're both on the 40-man. Huckstop can go to AAA for now. We will disable the AI promotion. I want to get Cruz up is the ultimate goal here. So let's sim ahead a day. And then I'll try to package Vaughn and Graveman and see if we can clear... oh, we win 7-4. Thomas 2 hits, Correa 2 hits, 2 RBIs, Greer had 2 hits, Lujan with his 18th home run. Lacey picks up 1. He's been fantastic in the second sim. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so now no, that's I guess not what I wanted to do, but we can make it work from here either way. So him and Graveman. Vaughn and Graveman. Let's see what we can get done there. So we can get another pitcher. We can get another potential average. Oh, we're just right. We traded him. Zimmerman. We can pick up a Rougned Odor for $8.5 million. I think I'll pass. Pick up Danny Jansen's 4-year contract and -2 WAR. San Martin, no. Yeah, not a lot going on here. Not a lot going on here. I don't really want another reliever. I don't really want another quote-unquote middling starting pitcher. I've picked up like 4 of those this year already. So what if we do this? It was a great idea. Hey, I give you credit when credit is due. It was a fantastic idea to pick up Lacey. He's been really, really good. It's disappointing. Let's look at batters. Gilbert Sanchez, good defensively. You could bring Juan Yepes back. Oh, wait. No, that's my other save. Or is it this one? I can't remember. No, it was this one. I'm already getting my saves mixed up. My A's save in this one. I'm already getting them mixed up. Jake Berger. It's just a lateral move. Stephen Kwan. I mean, he was really good a year ago for Cincinnati. Where do we play him? I mean, I want to sit here and not draft somebody or not trade for somebody who's talented because I don't have a place to play him. But we got Buelvas, Greer, Lujan, Penango, and Thomas as our outfield. So I'm going to bring another outfielder. He's got to be better than one of those guys. Yeah, if I have to sacrifice one of the three stats in a pitcher, it's going to be the control. I'm right there with you. Absolutely. Triolo, third baseman. Is he? I mean, I guess he's passable at third base. Good speed, good contact. Nah. Get Nick Allen if we want some defense. I mean, I kind of like the idea of picking up Nick Allen to be our backup middle infielder. Potentially start at second base for Guzman, who can't hit at all. I kind of like that idea. Let's talk to... I mean, he's not hitting, but let's talk to Oakland and see if we can get them to add in something. I have an offline save going on. Wow, he's good. Worst offer you've ever seen. I have an offline save going with the Red Sox, and they traded me Tyler Soderstrom for next to nothing. They like him a little more in this one. Okay, that's fair. You never know, though, because sometimes you find an option like we had with that last... Oh, wow. Zero chance of that ever happening. Okay. Understandable. Joey Estes. He's doing really well in my Oakland save. Really well. Guy, 80 stuff, 80 movement, 20... Yeah, I've got Braylon Marquez in my A's save on a 1 to 100 scale. He's like a 87 stuff, 83 movement, and like 23 control on a 1 to 100 scale, and it's chaos. Like, he strikes out like 15 batters an inning and walks like 9.5. It's ridiculous. But I love having him there. Oh, here you go, Jong Soo Jian. Stop wasting your time. I'm not wasting your time. I mean, I don't know that I would make this deal straight up. I don't know. So what if we did Perkins and... I mean, I'd like to hold on to Guzman just in case, but what if we did Perkins and Graveman? All right, so are any of these players... Yeah, you want Manuel Pena, you can have him. So Kendall Graveman, Jack Perkins, and Manuel Pena for Nick Allen. And Allen can't really hit, but he is elite defensively. He's a captain, so we get back that captain for giving when we traded Biggio. I like this deal. Cliff Massey. Yeah, I remember, and I can't remember his name, but I used to play every single game. Like, I didn't sim. I used to play every single game. And let's send Guzman down to AAA. Let's put Allen on there. And so I used to play every single game. And so I played like 9. And it was a fictional league. A fictional league where it was 120 game season. fictional leagues, and I used to play every single game. And there was a first baseman for the team that I was playing that I adored him. Like, I absolutely loved him. And you just have these players that they stick out in your mind. So Allen will be our new starting second baseman. So we now have really an elite middle infield defense with Nick Allen and Carlos Correa. So we still have to call somebody up, and that somebody is going to be Fadriel Cruz. So now let's sim ahead a day. Actually, let's get Cruz out there. Where do we put him, though? I guess he can back up at second. He's not particularly good at second. He can back up at first. He can back up as the designated hitter. But Greer, Thomas, Lujan. So that means Buelvas is going to back up there. Guess Nick Allen backs up. Yeah, we're too heavy on the corners. I think we need to figure out a way to move Vaughn, because that will allow us to then bring back up Jason Guzman, who can back up at all of the infield positions. We got a lot of talent, a lot of young talent that's on its way. A guy named Michael Wine. He was the first Hall of Famer you developed and joined the organization as your assistant GM. Michael Wine is a real guy. Plays for Wake Forest. And then against lefties, we're going to leave Vaughn. Cruz, Lujan, Penango. Yep. Cruz will back up there. Not Cruz. Fadriel Cruz will back up there. Allen will back up there. Yeah, we're going to need to move on from Vaughn here at some point in this episode, because we need to get Guzman back up to play the backup infielder. So we win one. So we make a couple of trades and we win back-to-back games over a team ahead of us, which is just awesome. Pearson goes 6 shutout. Another game against San Francisco now. Lose that one. We lose Kyle Greer for 4 months. Let's go. All right. So I guess that means that Huckstorf is going to get rushed to the majors with us as well. Not exactly what I wanted, but it is what it is, as they say. Outfield arm is a 50. Thomas is a 45. Neither of those options are great for right field, but I guess it's going to be Huckstorf in right. We lost 4-3. Let's do Vaughn again. Is there anybody else on the roster that we want to try to move with him? Dakota Hudson, because we're not going to re-sign Hudson. That's not where I wanted to go. Vaughn, shop player around. Yeah, we're not going to re-sign Hudson. His contract expires. So let's see if there's any interest there. Odor, Jansen, Senzel, Candelario, and Victor Robles. Nope, no interest at all. Oh, because I only have it listed as batters. I gotta move on. I don't want to just send him to the minors, but I feel like I have to get value for him. Look at the trade block. Juan Soto on the trade block. I think that's because he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. He certainly is. Oh, that would be something, but we're not going to have anything close to the money to get him. All right, so there are a lot of pitchers on the trade block. You got Lucas Sims, who's making $2 million in ARB. Again, Loisiga, we wouldn't be able to afford. Chad Green, we can't afford. Patrick Corbin, 35. How did Washington was able to get his contract off the books? Are you kidding? For Enoy Jimenez. Wow. that's a surprise. All right, let's talk about Sims. Let's see. Let's do Hudson. Wow, okay. Okay. Where will they accept it? I feel like, again, I mean, I'm making moves that end up not, I don't want to say not helping me, but if I put Dakota Hudson in there, okay, so it's not really that close. Got it. Okay. So Vaughn, they will accept that. Did Washington retain? Go for Juan. Juan who? What did I miss? Did Washington retain on Corbin? I'll look. So Lucas Sims. What else can we get? Oops. Stop it. I like Bryce Bonin. Give me him too. Cool. 29-year-old CJ Chatham. Juan Soto. I would love to be able to go for Juan Soto, but the only way that's going to happen is if Correa opts out. And I would trade Correa for Soto in a heartbeat. So we'll take a look after I make this deal. So Lucas Sims, Bryce Bonin. So a couple of relievers that I like. Really high stuff type guys for Andrew Vaughn, CJ Chatham. Yeah, let's make that deal. All right, so we got to put him on the 40-man. And we got to call Guzman back up. I've added so many pitchers to this team. Just kind of hoping something sticks. Who else is... we got Hudson and Barucki. So... You know what? Let's finish this off and see if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can make it happen. So if I give you Juan Soto, I would start with Carlos Correa, and I would retain. I mean... My fear is that we make this deal and then we can't afford to re-sign him. Yeah, my fear is that we can't re-sign him. So let's screw around here a bit. They would be over budget. Appreciate the offer, but you need something more. Oh, come on. Because if we do this... The problem is he's a free agent. So if we remove this $32 million next season, that brings us down to 86. Eat more on Correa? Why? Why would I want to eat more? They'll accept this deal as is. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to leave this on a cliffhanger. Keep Buelvas. Why keep Buelvas? But if I retain more, then I have less to give Soto when the season ends. And that's my biggest concern. Soto's likely to want north of $40 million. It's obviously a better bat. Oh man, wouldn't that be great if he opted out? Because then we wouldn't have to pay any of it. So if we put Buelvas... Okay, can we do this without Buelvas? Okay, good. Siegler signed. Buelvas, Garibay, Penango, Taylor. I mean, I'm okay. He's on pace for 7 WAR. I think even if he gets injured for the rest of the year, he'll opt out. So if we make this deal, we could at that point just move Allen over to short, and we could move Guzman back to second. So our middle infield would just be the train wreck offensively. But next year, we could make Jordan Lawler our starting second baseman and leave Allen at short. So what else could we get from... I can't give up Garibay. It actually gets worse. That's interesting. Okay, so House isn't going to get it done. Andrew Devine? No. I can't believe we're going to do this. Gavin Turley. Can you give up the pitcher? I don't... The pitcher was Andrew Taylor. I would rather not, to be honest with you. 4+ pitches, above average movement and control, 60 stamina. I would rather not. I'm not against giving up a pitcher. Yeah, I don't want to give up Taylor. All right, we're going to make this happen. Hang on just a second. Doesn't change things at all. Okay, there we go. I'll give you Zach Robinson. Okay. So we give up Carlos Correa, Fadriel Cruz, Brian Buelvas, along with Jesus Parra and Zach Robinson. We retain 25% on Correa's contract. Now, if Correa doesn't opt out, this is going to absolutely kill us because I don't think we're going to be able to afford Soto. We may have to screw around, and we're taking a chance here. So, we're going to do it. We're going to trade Carlos Correa, retaining 25%. I don't think I can retain. Yeah, I can't retain any less than that because they are over budget. So Carlos Correa retaining 25% and 4 prospects to the Washington Nationals for Juan Soto and Brady House. Yeah, in real life, but this isn't real life. So hopefully he continues to hit in Washington and then he opts out. So let's... I can't believe I'm about to do this. Let's do it. Fan interest almost crashed. Fan interest is amazing. What did that do to our fan interest overall? It's a 55. Okay. So now, let's put him on the 40-man. Let's put him on the roster. Let's stick him there and put him in right field. Let's get Huckstorf out. We got to put Guzman in at short. Or Guzman in at second, rather. Holy crap. Okay. So... that trade is absolutely batshit crazy, but it is now done. We still have to call up a couple of... What are we missing? We need 2 infielders. I don't know if we have 2 infielders. We got Lawler. I mean, do we just start the clock on Jordan Lawler now? I mean, he can hit enough. I mean, we'll call up Rodriguez to get him up. And... sure. Let's call up Jordan Lawler. And let's stick him in the lineup at second base. We'll make Allen our shortstop. And this was an episode. This was a thing that we just did. So Jordan Lawler will be our second baseman. Nick Allen will be our shortstop. Now the big thing. Here's the big thing. So we need to get this number down by $14 million. I mean, there's no way he's going to accept this. There's no way he accepts this. Oh, so this actually has to be less. Yeah. Yeah, we can probably figure out a way to scrape $14 million off this. We only have $20 million for extensions, but we can clear that off, I think. Not easy. I mean, if Correa opts out, there's the $8 million. There's more than half of it. Now, if he doesn't opt out, it becomes a slight problem. But let's set our lineup, I guess. Oh, crap. Okay. We are super left-handed heavy. Super left-handed heavy. We'll bat him second. We will bat him third. We will bat him fourth. Bat him fifth. Yeah, we're super left-handed heavy, but that'll work. Let's see what they do. So they want to play Yerzy at first base. Guzman, Pinango. This season? I don't want to do it this season. I don't have time to do it this season. I gotta end this basically right now. We'll stick with that similar lineup. Anybody gonna come out against lefties? No, I think we'll stick with that. Why is Soto not out there? Soto needs to be there in right field. Huckstorf can come in and, I guess, be the DH against lefties. Yeah. That'll be our lineup against lefties. Yeah, I gotta call it here. I got a phone call that I'm waiting on here in the next couple of minutes. So, all right. So that is gonna do it for this one, guys. We're not gonna make it to the trade deadline here this episode. That'll be for Wednesday, I think. But we just did a thing. We just traded for Juan Soto and traded Carlos Correa. Hopefully, we'll keep an eye on Correa here over the next couple of months. Hopefully he opts out of the contract at the end of the year, and that frees up some money so we can re-sign Juan Soto. Yeah, okay. We'll see how it goes. But Random Task Man, thanks for hanging out tonight. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. And that's going to do it. Everybody have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.